At 82, Bobbie Gentry remains one of the most enigmatic figures in American music history, a name surrounded by speculation, fragmented memories, and narratives that often blur fact with legend. In recent years, renewed attention in Nashville has revived interest in her life and her uneasy relationship with the country music establishment. Across decades, she has been described as both a visionary artist and someone who stepped away from an industry she never fully trusted. Much of the discourse remains unverified, yet it underscores the enduring fascination with her absence. Her story continues to be shaped as much by silence as by her influential body of work, leaving fans and historians still searching for clearer understanding of her choices and the circumstances that led to her long withdrawal from public life. Yet the mystery surrounding her absence continues to shape public perception, still unresolved today, the breakthrough that changed everything. The breakthrough of Bobbie Gentry in 1967, with Ode to Billie Joe, reshaped the landscape of country storytelling and introduced a haunting narrative style that blurred folk realism with poetic ambiguity. The song quickly became a cultural phenomenon and elevated her into international recognition almost overnight. Critics praised her songwriting while audiences were captivated by its mystery and emotional restraint. Yet behind the success was a growing tension between Gentry and the Nashville establishment, which struggled to categorize her unconventional artistry and independent approach to production and performance legacy. As her fame expanded, she increasingly resisted industry expectations regarding image control and artistic compromise. This resistance would later become central to narratives about her strained relationship with powerful music institutions, including the Grand Ole Opry friction with the Opry establishment. From the beginning, Bobbie Gentry's relationship with the Grand Ole Opry was marked by subtle friction rooted in her refusal to conform to traditional expectations of female country performers. While the Opry represented tradition and institutional control, Gentry embodied artistic independence that often placed her at odds with its gatekeepers. She was admired for her intelligence and musical sophistication, yet reportedly questioned industry norms, including publishing control and performance expectations that limited creative freedom. Over time, accounts suggest that meetings between Gentry and Opry representatives grew increasingly tense as she insisted on maintaining ownership of her work and rejecting restrictive contracts that she believed undermined her autonomy as an artist. These disagreements gradually widened the gap between her and Nashville institutions, shaping her reputation circles, artistic control, and industry expectations. Gentry's insistence on creative control set her apart from many of her contemporaries in the country music industry, where compliance often determined career longevity and visibility within major institutions like the Grand Ole Opry. Unlike artists who accepted established hierarchies, she frequently negotiated her own terms regarding production, performance, and distribution, which made her both respected and controversial among industry executives who preferred predictable and controllable talent legacy. Over time, this independence became a defining feature of her public identity, influencing how she was perceived by both fans and decision-makers in Nashville circles, who often viewed her as difficult to manage despite her artistic success and critical acclaim. These perceptions contributed to growing distance between Gentry and mainstream country institutions that once celebrated her legacy, rumors of industry exclusion. Over time, rumors began circulating within Nashville industry circles, suggesting that Bobbie Gentry had been gradually sidelined from major country music platforms due to ongoing disagreements with powerful executives and institutional gatekeepers who influenced programming and award recognition systems during the late 1960s and 1970s. Some accounts describe informal decisions that allegedly reduced her visibility on radio playlists and televised appearances, while others frame her absence as a personal choice rooted in dissatisfaction with industry politics and creative restrictions. Although no official records confirm coordinated exclusion, narratives about her diminished presence have persisted for decades, shaping how later generations interpret her career trajectory and her decision to step away from public life. These stories remain part of her enduring mystery, though largely unverified and contested today. Contemporaries and contrasting paths. Many of Bobbie Gentry's contemporaries, including prominent female country artists of her era, experienced varying degrees of support and resistance within the Nashville establishment, though Gentry's situation is often distinguished by her strong emphasis on autonomy and artistic ownership. While figures such as Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, and Tammy Wynette achieved mainstream acceptance and institutional recognition, Gentry pursued a more independent path that sometimes placed her outside traditional promotional systems and award circuits. Industry observers have noted that her reluctance to conform may have contributed to misunderstandings about her intentions and long-term career decisions, although supporters argue that her approach represented a deliberate assertion of creative control rather than conflict. This contrast continues to shape discussions about her legacy in country music history, still withdrawal from the spotlight. By the late 1970s, Bobbie Gentry had increasingly withdrawn from public performance, choosing to step back from the spotlight despite continued interest in her work and occasional invitations to return to major stages and television appearances. This withdrawal has often been interpreted in different ways, ranging from personal preference and artistic fatigue to broader dissatisfaction with industry expectations and the pressures of fame management and public scrutiny. Friends and colleagues from that period have described her as increasingly private and selective about professional engagements, often prioritizing control over visibility and choosing projects that aligned with her artistic values rather than commercial demands. This approach contributed to her gradual absence from mainstream country music narratives, even as her influence remained evident in later generations' music culture, contracts, rights, and tensions. In later accounts circulating among industry commentators and music historians, Bobbie Gentry's career has often been discussed in the context of contractual disputes and broader tensions between artists and record companies during a period of rapid expansion in the country music business. Some narratives suggest that she was cautious about signing agreements that limited her ownership of publishing rights and master recordings, a stance that placed her at odds with certain executives who prioritized control over creative assets. These disputes, whether formal or informal, are frequently cited in retrospective discussions of her limited long-term presence in mainstream country music institutions, though documentation remains incomplete and interpretations vary widely. They continue to influence how her career is analyzed today, in historical perspective and debate circles. The alleged Nashville dinner meeting. One frequently repeated anecdote in later retellings of Bobbie Gentry's time in Nashville describes a private dinner meeting in which she was allegedly invited to discuss a potential return performance connected to a tribute event at a major country music venue. According to these accounts, the meeting initially appeared cordial and supportive, with expectations of reconciliation between the artist and industry representatives who had once worked closely with her. However, the narrative shifts as discussions allegedly move toward contractual terms involving control over unreleased recordings and archival material attributed to her earlier sessions. Some versions of the story claim that this prompted immediate tension and ultimately led to her decision to decline further participation in such events, thereafter reinforcing her distance from industry circles, permanently seclusion, and lasting absence. After leaving behind the core Nashville music scene, Bobbie Gentry is often described as having entered a prolonged period of relative seclusion, during which she largely withdrew from public performances, interviews, and industry events. This phase of her life has been the subject of much speculation, with interpretations ranging from a desire for privacy and creative independence to frustration with industry practices that she may have found restrictive or unaccommodating. Despite her absence from the spotlight, her earlier work continued to receive recognition and influence emerging artists who cited her storytelling approach and musical innovation as significant inspirations within evolving country and folk traditions. Over time, her withdrawal became part of her legacy, shaping discussions about artistic control and personal boundaries in the music industry. Legacy in modern perspective. Today, Bobbie Gentry remains a figure of enduring fascination in music history, her name often associated with mystery, artistic independence, and a body of work that continues to influence discussions about narrative songwriting and genre blending in country music. Scholars and fans alike frequently revisit her career to understand how she navigated the complexities of fame while maintaining a strong sense of artistic control in an industry often defined by compromise and commercial pressures. Her influence can be seen in later generations of singer-songwriters who cite her as a pioneer of narrative depth and emotional complexity within popular music traditions. Although much about her personal decisions remains private, her impact on the genre remains widely acknowledged and continues to resonate with audiences today. Still, an enduring cultural question. The story of Bobbie Gentry continues to occupy a unique place in American music history, blending verified achievements with lingering myths and unresolved questions about her choices, career trajectory, and relationship with the country music establishment. Over the decades, interpretations of her withdrawal have shifted, reflecting changing attitudes toward artistic autonomy, industry power structures, and the role of women in shaping mainstream musical narratives. Whether viewed as a deliberate retreat, a response to professional pressures, or a combination of personal and artistic decisions, her absence has itself become part of her legacy, prompting continued reflection among listeners, historians, and critics alike. Ultimately, her influence endures not only through her recordings, but through the questions her career still raises about fame, control, and artistic freedom.